In the annals of history, certain places bear witness to the darker aspects of human existence. Aradale Lunatic Asylum, perched ominously on the windswept plains of Victoria, Australia, is one such place. Its imposing silhouette against the vast Australian sky evokes tales of madness, suffering, and the restless spirits said to roam its decaying corridors. Established in 1867, the asylum housed thousands of patients over its 130-year history. Many of its inhabitants lived and died within its walls, leaving behind an indelible mark on the very fabric of the building. Join us as we delve into the history of Aradale Lunatic Asylum, exploring its origins, eerie events and hauntings that have cemented its reputation as one of Australia's most haunted places. Aradale Lunatic Asylum was born out of a growing need to house and treat the mentally ill in the burgeoning colony of Victoria. Constructed on a sprawling 793 hectares of land, Aradale was designed to be self-sufficient. It boasted its own farm, gardens, workshops, and even a cemetery. The asylum's design, known as the echelon formation, was intended to maximize sunlight and ventilation, but it also created an unsettling maze of corridors and wings. Within these walls, patients endured various treatments, some more humane than others. Over the decades, Aradale's population swelled, with over 1,000 patients residing within its walls at its peak. Life within Aradale was often harsh and unforgiving. Patients, stripped of their identities and freedoms, endured overcrowding, lack of privacy, and often inhumane treatment. It is said that the anguish and suffering endured within those walls left an indelible mark, a residue of negative energy that continues to haunt the asylum to this day. The construction of Aradale Lunatic Asylum was a massive undertaking, a testament to the growing concern over mental illness in colonial Australia. The asylum's design, conceived by renowned architect William Wardle, was both ambitious and deeply flawed. Wardle envisioned Aradale as a self-sufficient community, a place where patients could, in theory, live and work in a structured environment. The asylum's layout, known as the echelon formation, was intended to maximize natural light and ventilation. This design, while well-intentioned, had unintended consequences. The long, echoing corridors intended to promote airflow instead created an eerie sense of isolation. Aradale was, in essence, a city within a city. Its sprawling grounds housed not only patient wards, but also a working farm, gardens, kitchens, a bakery, and even a morgue. Patients deemed capable were often put to work on the farm or in the workshops, their labor seen as a form of therapy. For the patients who passed through its doors, Aradale was more than just a hospital. It was a world unto itself, a place where the rules of society were suspended. Life within Aradale's walls was often harsh and unforgiving. Patients, stripped of their identities and freedoms, were at the mercy of the asylum's staff. Treatment methods in the early days were often brutal, focusing on confinement and restraint rather than care and rehabilitation. The asylum's remote location and self-sufficient nature made it easy for abuses to go unreported and unpunished. As the 20th century dawned, the field of psychiatry began to evolve, albeit slowly and unevenly. New ideas about mental illness and its treatment emerged, challenging the old practices of confinement and restraint. While the asylum's physical structure remained largely unchanged, new treatments such as occupational therapy and early forms of talk therapy were gradually introduced. Patients were encouraged to engage in activities like gardening, weaving, and carpentry, offering a glimmer of hope and purpose within the asylum's otherwise restrictive environment. However, these progressive measures were often overshadowed by the continued use of more controversial treatments. Despite the gradual shift towards more humane treatment methods, Aradale remained a place shrouded in secrecy. Stories circulated among the staff and the surrounding community, whispers of patients mistreated, neglected, or even subjected to cruel experiments. One such story involved the Asylum's morgue, a place whispered to be haunted by the spirits of those who died within Aradale's walls. Staff members spoke of strange noises emanating from the morgue at night, unexplained cold spots, and the feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. Another tale centered around the Asylum's solitary confinement cells, small, windowless rooms used to isolate patients deemed disruptive or dangerous. Among the many eerie tales associated with Aradale Lunatic Asylum, the story of the ghostly matron stands out as particularly chilling. Described as a tall, imposing figure in a starched white uniform, she is said to roam the halls of the former women's wards, her keys jangling ominously in the silence. Some believe her to be the spirit of a former matron known for her strict discipline and cruel treatment of the patients under her care. Others speculate that she may be a composite of the many nurses and attendants who worked within Aradale's walls, their energy and experiences somehow imprinted on the very fabric of the building. Visitors and paranormal investigators alike have reported encounters with her spectral form, often accompanied by a feeling of dread and the overwhelming sensation of being watched. Of all the wards within Aradale's sprawling complex, none hold a more sinister reputation than Ward 10. This ward, reserved for the most severely ill and dangerous patients, was a place of fear and despair, where the boundaries between sanity and madness truly dissolved. Stories abound of strange occurrences within Ward 10, even during the asylum's operational years. Staff members reported hearing disembodied voices, objects moving on their own, and sudden drops in temperature. After Aradale's closure in 1998, Ward 10 became a focal point for paranormal investigators drawn to the asylum's dark history. Many have reported experiencing intense feelings of unease, disembodied whispers, and even physical contact within the ward's confines. Aradale's hallways are known to echo with the soft, shuffling footsteps of unseen entities, but one figure in particular stands out amidst the spectral throng: the man in the suit. Often spotted in the asylum's administrative wing, he is described as a tall, gaunt figure, always impeccably dressed in a dark suit and tie, as if forever frozen in a bygone era. Some believe him to be the ghost of a former doctor, perhaps driven to suicide or madness by the weight of his patients' suffering. Visitors have reported seeing him out of the corner of their eye, a fleeting glimpse of a figure swallowed by the shadows. While the adult patients of Aradale suffered their own horrific fates, the plight of children within the asylum's walls adds another layer of tragedy to the site's dark history. Children, some as young as 5 years old, were admitted to Aradale, often diagnosed with conditions that today would be treated very differently. Visitors and investigators often report hearing the laughter of children echoing through the empty corridors. The children of Aradale, forever denied a normal childhood, continue to haunt the grounds, their playful spirits a poignant reminder of the innocence lost within those walls. Deep within the bowels of Aradale, hidden beneath the main asylum building, lies a network of tunnels. One particular room, located off one of these tunnels, has earned a chilling reputation: the Screaming Room. The origins of the name are unclear, but legend has it that the room was once used for punishing patients. Others believe it served as a makeshift morgue where the bodies of the deceased were stored before burial. Visitors and investigators have reported hearing blood-curdling screams emanating from the room despite it being empty and sealed off. The Screaming Room stands as a chilling testament to the suffering endured within Aradale's walls, a place where the echoes of past horrors refuse to be silenced. Aradale Lunatic Asylum, like many institutions of its kind, employed a variety of treatments for mental illness, some more humane than others. The tools of these treatments, now silent and rusted, remain scattered throughout the asylum, serving as chilling reminders of the suffering endured within those walls. Visitors and investigators often report feeling a sense of unease in the rooms where these instruments are kept, as if the objects themselves hold a residue of the pain and fear they inflicted. The instruments of terror, though no longer in use, remain a potent symbol of the dark side of Aradale's history. A reminder that even with good intentions, the road to hell is often paved with medical misjudgment. Over the years, countless individuals have dared to step within Aradale's imposing walls, seeking a glimpse into its haunted past. From curious tourists to seasoned paranormal investigators, many have walked the asylum's halls, their senses on high alert for any sign of the supernatural. Visitors describe a pervasive feeling of being watched, of unseen eyes following their every move. Cold spots, sudden drops in temperature with no logical explanation are frequently reported, often accompanied by an overwhelming sense of dread. Objects move inexplicably, doors slam shut on their own, and shadows dance in the periphery of vision, leaving witnesses to question their own sanity. Among the many anecdotal accounts of paranormal activity at Aradale, one stands out for its chilling authenticity. It is the story of Sarah, a registered nurse who, drawn by both her profession and a fascination with the paranormal, joined a ghost hunt at the abandoned asylum. Sarah, a skeptic by nature, approached the experience with a healthy dose of cynicism. During an EVP session in one of the former women's wards, Sarah felt an icy cold hand grip her wrist. Shaken, but determined to find a rational explanation, Sarah searched the room, but found no one there. Later that night, while reviewing the EVP recordings, Sarah was stunned to hear a faint, whispery voice saying her name clear as day, despite the fact that no one in the group had spoken during the recording. Documenting the unexplained. Aradale Lunatic Asylum attracts paranormal investigators due to its dark history and reports of unexplained activity. Armed with high-tech equipment, they seek to capture evidence of spirits. EMF meters detect electromagnetic energy fluctuations often linked to spirits. Infrared cameras capture thermal images of unseen entities. Digital voice recorders capture EVPs, disembodied voices of spirits. Compelling evidence includes unexplained orbs, shadowy figures, and full-bodied apparitions. Since its closure in 1998, Aradale Lunatic Asylum has stood as a silent sentinel on the Victorian landscape, its imposing facade a stark reminder of a bygone era in mental health treatment. But Aradale is far from abandoned. It exists in a strange limbo, caught between its dark past and its present-day incarnation as a site of historical and paranormal intrigue. Today, the asylum's vast grounds are open to the public, offering guided tours that delve into its rich and often unsettling history. Visitors can walk the same halls, once traversed by patients and staff, explore the eerie wards where countless souls lived and died, and even venture into the depths of the infamous tunnels, including the chilling screaming room. Paranormal investigations are also a regular occurrence at Aradale. Groups and individuals armed with EMF readers, infrared cameras, and digital voice recorders come seeking answers, hoping to capture evidence of the spirits said to still reside within the asylum's walls. Aradale's chilling history and reputation for paranormal activity have not gone unnoticed by popular culture. The asylum has been featured on numerous paranormal television shows, including Ghost Hunters International. These shows attempt to document the unexplained, capturing intriguing footage and audio recordings. Aradale has inspired countless books, documentaries, and fictional accounts. The asylum's story taps into our primal fears of madness and the unknown. Aradale stands as a reminder of the complexities of mental health treatment throughout history. Beyond its historical significance, Aradale remains a place of mystery, drawing those brave enough to confront the unknown. Aradale Lunatic Asylum stands as a haunting testament to a darker chapter in Australian history. Its imposing structure became a symbol of confinement, fear, and despair. The echoes of laughter, screams, and whispered pleas linger, woven into the very fabric of the building. The asylum's legacy is marked by both good intentions and inhumane practices. Aradale is where history and the supernatural collide, blurring fact and fiction. Whether one believes in ghosts or dismisses them as mere figments of the imagination, there is no denying the palpable sense of unease that permeates Aradale's halls. The asylum stands as a haunting reminder of the fragility of the human mind, the power of fear and isolation, and the enduring legacy of trauma. While Aradale's doors may be closed to patients, its story continues to resonate, urging us to confront uncomfortable truths about our past and to approach mental illness with greater compassion and understanding. The asylum's haunted reputation, whether rooted in fact or folklore, serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of treating all individuals with dignity and respect, regardless of their mental state. As the sun sets on the windswept plains of Victoria, casting long shadows across Aradale's imposing facade, one can't help but wonder about the secrets still held within its walls. The stories of Aradale, both historical and paranormal, continue to fascinate and haunt, reminding us that the past is never truly gone and that some places hold on to their secrets long after the echoes of human voices have faded away.